This footage was never meant for human eyes, and once you see it, nothing feels safe again anymore.
Leaked clips are vanishing, channels are getting wiped, and witnesses are going silent. Because what these cameras caught isn't folklore, isn't CGI, and isn't behaving like any animal on record. Upright silhouettes stalking highways, glowing eyes inside homes, creatures that stop, watch, calculate, then decide. These videos don't scream chaos. They whisper intelligence, restraint, and something terrifyingly aware of us. Every frame feels like a mistake humanity wasn't supposed to make. A door opened too wide, a secret caught breathing in real time. Some of this footage lasted minutes online, others only seconds. All of it asks one question you can't unthink once it's planted. What if we were never alone, just tolerated?
Before we dive in, like, comment, and subscribe to Mystery Footage Uncovered now.
The camera catches movement near the shoreline. Too tall, too deliberate. A massive upright canine shape steps from the trees onto wet sand and stops. Its head turns slowly, muzzle long and rigid, ears locked forward. Red-orange eyes scan the water, reflecting with predatory focus. Muscle shifts beneath soaked fur as claws flex, digging slightly into the ground. The proportions are wrong. Arms nearly reach the knees, shoulders built like a heavyweight fighter, torso balanced perfectly over two legs. Then, without warning, it lowers to all fours. Fluid, silent, efficient. Witnesses later reported a metallic, decaying odor lingering long after it vanished. This wasn't something passing through. It was watching, waiting. And when something like that stares across open water, the question isn't what it is, it's what it's already found. A shaky handheld video captures dusk settling over a cave mouth. Then something steps out. It doesn't crawl, it doesn't stumble. It emerges already upright, over 2 meters tall, shoulders wide, arms hanging unnaturally low, curved claws catching the last light. Blue-white eyes glow faintly from a wolf-shaped face, muzzle long and rigid, ears locked forward. Sparse, pale fur clings tightly to gray skin beneath, giving it a starved, ancient appearance. It pauses at the cave threshold, balanced perfectly between standing and dropping to all fours. Not startled, not confused, waiting. Researchers later noted the posture resembles an ambush stance, not an exit response. Predators don't leave cover like this unless they're certain. If it walked out already standing, how long had it been watching from inside the dark before choosing to be seen? The footage opens on a quiet clearing. Something feels wrong before anything appears. Then the trees part. 3 towering canine figures step into view, fully upright, moving with unsettling confidence. Wolf-like heads sway as they walk. Ears rotate independently. Eyes catch light like polished metal. Each stands well over 2 meters tall. Shoulders wider than most doorframes. Arms hang low, claws flexing with each step. Their fur is heavy, damp, clumped along the spine, revealing gray-brown skin beneath. What disturbs analysts most isn't the size, it's the control. They move like something aware of being watched. One drops briefly to all fours, accelerates with explosive speed, then rises again without effort. No panic, no confusion, just intent. This isn't folklore drifting into frame. This is organized movement in open daylight. The recording opens on a frozen expanse, too quiet. Then 2 pale figures rise into view, fully upright, massive, unmistakably canine. Each stands over 2 meters tall, shoulders stretched wide, arms hanging long with curved claws flexing in the cold air. Yellow eyes burn against the white ground, unblinking. Dense light fur ripples over heavy muscle, masking gray-brown skin beneath. One turns its head slowly. Ears pivot independently. Then it drops to all fours in a single fluid motion, too smooth to be instinct. The speed is wrong, too controlled. Teeth flash briefly, metallic in the light, before it rises again without effort. Witnesses later described a sharp, rotting metal smell lingering long after the figures disappeared. If creatures like this stand openly in daylight without fear, the question isn't why the footage vanished. It's what restraint is keeping them from doing worse. At first, the camera records nothing but dense fog. Then something rises from it. A massive, wolf-headed figure stands upright as mist coils around its legs. Amber eyes burn steadily through the haze, unblinking. Its height alone overwhelms the frame, and its stride seems capable of closing distance in seconds. The creature lifts its muzzle, ears rigid, testing the air. Thick, damp fur rolls over heavy shoulders. Elongated arms hang low, claws brushing leaves without a sound. Then, with unnerving fluidity, it lowers to all fours and advances. There's no wasted movement, no hesitation. Every step is precise, controlled, intentional. Built like a heavyweight predator, it moves like something trained to hunt without noise. Later analysis focused on its gait. Too efficient, too balanced, too deliberate for any known species. When fog fills the forest, it doesn't just hide you. It hides what was already waiting there. Night vision footage shows a wolf-headed figure half concealed behind a tree, staring directly into the camera. It doesn't charge. It doesn't retreat. Blue eyes glow steadily, unblinking. Clawed hands dig into the bark. Its breathing is audible, slow, controlled, patient. The body holds a tense, half-upright crouch, muscles engaged but restrained, as if calculating distance rather than reacting. The muzzle lifts slightly, teeth flash once, then the creature lowers closer to all fours without fully committing, never breaking eye contact. Predators rarely stare this long. Observers do. The posture suggests assessment, not confusion. Analyzing movement, timing, and intent. It isn't deciding whether to attack. It's deciding what you are. If it chose observation over violence, the question isn't why it waited. It's what conclusions it reached while watching. The footage begins inside a dim living room, quiet, still. Then the doorway darkens, not from shadow, but from sheer mass. A towering canine figure steps fully inside, upright, filling the frame from floor to arch. Well over 2 meters tall, green eyes ignite in the dark, reflecting straight into the lens. The wolf-shaped head lowers slightly, elongated muzzle releasing heavy, controlled breaths. Shoulders stretch unnaturally wide. Long arms hang low, curved claws hovering just above the carpet. Dense, dark fur ripples with each movement, briefly exposing gray-toned skin at the joints. Every step is slow, intentional, measured. Audio captures deep breathing, animal steady, restrained. Witnesses later described a metallic, rotting odor lingering long after the figure withdrew. This wasn't an animal wandering indoors. This was something deliberately entering human space. If it can step inside without fear and choose not to advance, walls were never protection. A casual social media clip shows a hooded man speaking to the camera in the woods at night. Nothing seems wrong until viewers notice what's behind him. Standing silently among the trees is a massive wolf-headed figure, over 2.5 meters tall, fully upright. Amber eyes faintly reflecting light. Long arms hang motionless at its sides, curved claws visible even in the poor illumination. It doesn't shift. It doesn't react. It simply watches. Historical researchers later compared the posture to old European werewolf accounts, entities described not as berserk beasts, but as sentient observers. Patient, calculating. The man never turns around. He keeps talking, unaware. The video cuts moments later. If the creature made no sound, if it never moved, how long had it already been standing behind him before the camera ever started recording? Headlights cut through the darkness and catch something crouched at the roadside. Too tall, too dense, too solid to be any animal. As the vehicle slows, the shape unfolds upward, fully upright. Over 2.5 meters tall, shoulders wide enough to dominate the lane. Arms hang low, claws scraping asphalt with a sharp, unmistakable rasp. Red eyes ignite in the beam. Steam pours from its mouth with each controlled breath. Thick black fur hangs heavy and slick, gray skin visible at the joints as it shifts its weight. The wolf-like head tilts, teeth bared, not in aggression, but evaluation. Then it moves. It drops to all fours and accelerates effortlessly, matching the vehicle's speed, pacing it without strain. No stumble, no sound. Then, without warning, it veers into the darkness and vanishes. If something that large can run with traffic unnoticed, it wasn't waiting for the car. It was already following the road. The footage shows open grassland, broad daylight, no shadows to hide in. Then 4 massive figures enter the frame. They walk upright, together. Each stands well over 2 meters tall, shoulders wide, arms long, claws swinging in rhythm. Wolf heads remain forward-facing, ears erect, posture disciplined. Dense fur drapes over powerful frames, gray-brown skin visible beneath. One briefly drops to all fours, then rises again without breaking stride. Nothing about this is chaotic. Their spacing is deliberate, their pace matched, their direction shared. Analysts later noted the synchronization. This is coordinated movement, not coincidence. This isn't a lone anomaly. This is group behavior. They move like a unit that understands territory, visibility, and timing. And they do it in full daylight. If they're willing to walk together under the sun, what kind of coordination happens when no one is watching? Dusk settles over a canyon rim. The camera steadies on 3 towering canine figures standing upright beside a massive fossilized bone embedded in stone, far larger than any modern predator should be. One grips the rock with curved claws. Another lowers to all fours, sniffing the ground around the fossil. The third remains upright, scanning the surroundings. Their movements are slow, deliberate, coordinated. Thick, dark fur coats muscular frames, dust clinging to gray-brown skin beneath. A low growl rolls through the canyon, not aggressive, not reactive, but controlled, measured. They circle the fossil as if comparing scale. Researchers reviewing the footage noticed something worse. This wasn't a single visit. They returned to the site repeatedly. They aren't feeding, they aren't playing, they're examining. When something revisits ancient bones at sunset, the fear isn't what it is, it's what it remembers. There is nowhere to hide. The footage shows flat prairie under full daylight when a pale canine figure walks straight through the open land. Upright, exposed, unbothered. Its height is unmistakable. Long arms swing low, claws visible even at distance. The wolf head stays forward, ears locked upright, muzzle rigid and alert. Sunlight glints off dense fur stretched over thick muscle. The creature pauses briefly, scanning the horizon, as if confirming something. Then it drops. In one smooth motion, it shifts to all fours and launches forward, crossing the field with terrifying speed. No panic, no urgency, just control. Analysts later focused on the terrain choice. Flat, visible, predictable. This is not where stealth predators hunt, unless the predator knows nothing around can challenge it. It wasn't avoiding detection, it was asserting dominance over the landscape. The camera captures movement inside a house, then stops on a massive shape filling the doorway. The head is unmistakably canine, elongated muzzle, erect ears, teeth visible behind parted lips. White eyes glow directly into the lens. Its shoulders are impossibly broad for the frame, arms hanging so low the claws nearly brush the floor. Thick, dark fur conceals most of the body, but gray-toned skin flashes at the joints as it shifts its weight. A low vibration fills the audio, a growl that isn't wild or frantic but controlled, measured. This isn't an animal that wandered inside by accident. This is something standing in human space, pausing, assessing. If a creature this large can fit in a doorway and chooses not to step further, the most frightening question isn't why it stopped. It's what restraint, if any, it was choosing to exercise. The footage is tight, indoors, dim. A canine face fills the frame, elongated muzzle, erect ears, pale, unfocused eyes staring directly into the camera. It doesn't blink, it doesn't breathe. The head alone implies a body over 2 meters tall, thick fur framing gray-toned skin, teeth resting behind unmoving lips. The stillness is unbearable, not passive but controlled, like predatory restraint taken to an extreme. No sound, no motion, just watching. Analysts initially suspected a hoax until subtle fur movement revealed airflow response. The figure wasn't frozen. It was actively holding itself perfectly still. Muscles engaged, balance maintained, awareness constant. If something like this can remain motionless inside a human space without panic or confusion, the fear isn't how it got there. The fear is time, how long it stood there before the camera noticed, and how often it chooses to stand still rather than be seen. A spotlight snaps on. It freezes on something no officer expects to see. A massive upright canid stands mid-step in the beam, shoulders broad enough to dominate the road. Lips pull back slightly, teeth flash, claws scrape gravel with a sound sharp enough to cut through the night. Amber eyes lock onto the source of the light. The body looks constructed rather than born, thick torso, elongated arms, dense fur slick with moisture. It doesn't flinch, it doesn't panic. Then, with impossible smoothness, it lowers to all fours, muscles coiling like compressed steel. The footage doesn't show fear, it shows restraint. Reports tied to this stretch of road have accumulated for decades. Same silhouette, same size, same behavior, always dismissed, always archived, always ignored. Places don't earn reputations by accident. They earn them because something there refuses to leave. Under a full moon, a towering silhouette crosses a dirt path and stops. It stands upright, perfectly still, bathed in silver light. Orange eyes reflect sharply as the figure turns its head toward the camera. Focused, not startled. Its proportions defy known anatomy. Massive shoulders. Elongated arms ending in curved claws that hang low. Thick, matted dark fur clings to a powerful frame. The wolf-like muzzle lifts slightly, as if testing the air. A low sound vibrates outward. Not a howl, not a growl, but something layered, blending animal threat with something disturbingly human. Without warning, the creature drops to all fours and explodes forward, covering ground faster than the eye can track. Analysts later noted its gait matches neither bear nor wolf, built instead for ambush and pursuit. When it stared into the lens, it didn't look like prey caught on camera. It looked like a predator deciding whether to move. A short urban clip went viral for all the wrong reasons. It shows a dog riding a tiny bicycle down a city street, upright, balanced, paws gripping the handlebars while police trail behind. Most viewers laugh and scroll on. Researchers didn't. Frame by frame, the footage becomes uncomfortable. The animal maintains bipedal balance far longer than expected. It shifts its center of gravity smoothly, corrects direction deliberately, and never panics. This isn't random luck or a trick caught at the perfect moment. It's not a dogman. Its body lacks the massive shoulders, elongated limbs, and predatory skull associated with those reports. But it exposes something important: how violently the human brain rejects upright canines. If something this small already feels wrong, imagine how quickly your mind would dismiss footage of something much larger standing the same way, especially in darkness, especially when it doesn't want to be noticed. Infrared footage opens on a silent marsh. Water sits unnaturally still. Reeds don't move. Then a tall, pale canine figure steps into view, upright, towering, unmistakably aware. Yellow eyes glow as they scan the swamp. The creature raises its muzzle, and the sound that follows is deeply unsettling. The howl isn't singular. It's layered, wolf-like, but threaded with something almost human. Audio distortion ripples outward as the vibration skims the water's surface. Massive shoulders expand and contract. Long arms hang low, claws hovering just above the grass. Wet fur clings to gray-toned skin beneath. Then the howl stops instantly. The figure freezes, head tilted, as if listening for a response. No movement, no sound. It drops to all fours and disappears into the reeds. Witnesses later reported a metallic, rotting odor lingering long after. That sound wasn't communication, it was coordination. At dusk, cornrows rustle, and something pushes out. A dark figure emerges upright, already on two legs, over 2 meters tall. Shoulders roll with muscle as it advances. Amber eyes burn through the field, locked forward. Long arms hang low, claws curved and ready. The wolf-like head dips slightly, ears forward, teeth visible before it moves. Then the transition happens. In one seamless motion, it drops to all fours and explodes into motion. Silent, precise, impossibly fast. Stalking becomes pursuit in a heartbeat. No hesitation, no wasted movement. Analysts later focused on the shift between bipedal and quadrupedal movement. Fluidity no known predator at that scale can achieve. This isn't improvisation, it's practiced, repeated. When something emerges from a cornfield, already standing upright, the real question isn't what it is. It's how long it had been waiting there, watching, before the camera ever noticed. In a frozen basin far from human trails, pale shapes gather around something massive and broken in the snow. At first glance, they resemble wolves until they rise. One by one, they stand upright. Light-colored fur, almost white, covers frames that are unmistakably wrong. Elongated muzzles, erect ears, thick shoulders, long forelimbs ending in curved claws. Some lower to feed, others remain standing, scanning the valley. They rotate rolls without chaos. A layered growl howl rolls across the basin, echoing far beyond the camera's position. This isn't random scavenging. This is structure, coordination, social behavior. They operate in the open, in daylight, without urgency or fear. If creatures like this move openly in groups, maintaining watch while others feed, the mystery isn't whether they exist, it's how long they've been operating just beyond human awareness. Infrared footage shows a fenced enclosure at night, domestic dogs pacing, barking, until something rises beyond the gate. A pale, upright canine shape lifts above the fence. Red eyes flare. Long arms extend forward, claws curling effortlessly into the metal mesh. The wolf-like head towers above the enclosure, muzzle long, ears rigid, shoulders massive beneath thick, light fur. The reaction below is instant. Barking collapses into whimpering. A deep, layered growl vibrates through the air. Not frantic, not aggressive, but dominant. Absolute. The creature shifts smoothly between full height and a low, four-limbed crouch, testing angles, evaluating the barrier. It doesn't climb. It doesn't break in. It simply remains there, reminding everything below exactly where it stands in the hierarchy. If it chooses not to enter, that isn't mercy. That's patience asserting itself. Daylight footage reveals a massive wolf-headed entity crouched before reinforced glass. One clawed hand presses flat against the barrier, talons splayed wide. Yellow eyes stare forward, unblinking. Lips peel back, exposing teeth in a silent snarl. Its posture is disturbing, neither fully upright nor fully on all fours. A suspended balance, shoulders impossibly broad, arms long and powerful. Thick, dark fur clings to dense muscle. Each breath fogs the glass slowly, deliberately. Then the claws move. They scrape, slow, controlled, producing a sound that forces observers to step back. This is not panic, not confusion. It isn't testing for weakness out of desperation. It's measuring, studying. The glass holds, for now, but the way it watches suggests understanding. If that barrier weren't there, it wouldn't be trying to escape. It would already know exactly when to strike. Headlights cut through falling snow and then stop on something that shouldn't exist. A towering black-furred figure steps from the tree line, fully upright, its silhouette filling the road. Steam pours from its mouth with each breath. Amber eyes flare under the glare, calm and assessing. The head is unmistakably lupine, elongated muzzle, exposed teeth, ears locked high. Shoulders are massive, arms long, ending in hooked claws that scrape lightly against frozen pavement. For a moment, it simply stands there, measuring distance. Then it drops to all fours and moves, not running, controlling space. In seconds, it crosses the road faster than the vehicle can react, vanishing into darkness with impossible speed. No slipping, no hesitation, no sound. If something that large can move faster than headlights on ice, survival isn't about seeing it first. It's about hoping it never decides to let you see it at all. It presented infrared footage shows a tunnel of trees collapsed into blackness until something steps out already upright. A massive silhouette advances into the clearing, shoulders broad, arms long and swinging with unmistakable weight. Pale eyes burn through the night, fixed forward. The wolf-like head stays high, ears forward, muzzle extended, dense fur swallowing the light, while gray skin flashes briefly at the joints. It takes several measured steps on two legs, fully exposed, before dropping to all fours in a blur of coordinated motion, claws biting into the soil. Then the sound hits. A layered howl, deep and lupine, but threaded with something almost human, vibrating through the trees. Not a call, not a warning, a declaration. Analysts focused on the transition speed. Too smooth, too fast, too practiced for surprise. This wasn't something startled out of hiding. It stepped into the open because it was ready. The only unanswered question is what it was ready to do next. 5 wolf-headed figures emerge from dense vegetation and walk straight toward the camera. Upright, aligned, silent. Broad daylight, no hesitation. Each stands between 2 and nearly 3 meters tall, shoulders stretching unnaturally wide, long arms swinging in rhythm with claws clearly visible. Amber eyes lock forward, unblinking. One drops briefly to all fours, then rises again without breaking formation. This isn't wandering behavior. Frame-by-frame analysis shows synchronized spacing, matched pace, shared direction, pack movement adapted for visibility, not concealment. They aren't reacting to the camera, they're approaching it. No sudden speed, no aggression, just controlled forward motion. The footage cuts before they reach the lens, and no one knows why. Equipment failure, human interference, fear. But the disturbing part isn't that it stopped, it's that they were willing to move like this under the sun. If they advance openly in daylight, what surrounds you once darkness finally gives them everything they need. Infrared trail footage captures a forest clearing and a carcass torn open, but the figure above it isn't crouched like any predator should be. A towering wolf-headed form stands upright over the remains, nearly 3 meters tall, shoulders heavy and motionless. White-hot eyes burn in infrared. Long arms hang downward, claws embedded in the soil as if anchoring its weight. It lowers its head toward the carcass, not feeding, just hovering, then freezes. When the camera clicks, the creature reacts wrong. Instead of dropping lower, it rises higher, straightening its spine, expanding its silhouette. Slowly, deliberately, it turns its head toward the lens. Only then does it drop fluidly to all fours in a single smooth motion, releasing a low growl layered with something disturbingly human. Analysts fixated on one detail predators don't explain. Animals don't stand to eat, and they don't rise when interrupted. If it stood up because the camera triggered, what made it want to see us better? Daylight footage shows a dark canine form crossing open grassland on 2 legs, upright and steady enough to seem almost plausible at first glance. Then the stride falters. One arm lifts too high. The balance shifts. For a fraction of a second, the gait becomes asymmetrical, as if the limbs disagree on how movement is supposed to work. Long arms swing low again, shoulders thick with muscle absorbing the correction, wolf head locked forward as if ignoring the mistake. Then, without slowing or reacting, the creature drops to all fours and accelerates instantly, covering ground with a precision no bear or human anatomy can achieve. Biomechanics experts blamed lens distortion, compression artifacts, uneven terrain. Others weren't convinced, because distortion doesn't explain choice. That brief break in motion looks less like error and more like transition. If it only looked wrong for a moment, maybe that was the instant it stopped pretending to move like us at all. The leaked excavation video reveals the exposed skeleton of a massive prehistoric predator. Ribcage wide, skull fragments enormous, proportions dwarfing modern species. Standing among the remains are several upright canine figures. They don't damage the site. They don't feed. They examine it. Long claws trace bone ridges. Wolf heads tilt, angles shifting as if comparing scale. One emits a low growl threaded with a near-human undertone. Another shifts seamlessly between 2 legs and 4, circling the fossil with practiced familiarity. Their size beside the remains is the detail analysts couldn't ignore. They aren't smaller. They're comparable, possibly larger. Debate over folklore ended when reviewers noticed the lack of caution. These creatures aren't afraid of what once ruled this land. They aren't reacting to it emotionally at all. They're evaluating it. When something studies ancient predators this closely, one thought becomes unavoidable. Are they looking at ancestors or measuring competition? The camera activates. Something tall steps into frame. It pauses upright in the driveway, head lifting as if testing the air. Yellow eyes burn directly into the lens. Claws tap against concrete, light, deliberate, unmistakable. The wolf-like head turns slowly. Ears pivot, tracking distant sounds. Shoulders roll beneath thick, dark fur, arms hanging unnaturally low. Wet patches cling to gray-toned skin at the joints, catching the infrared glow. Then it lowers to all fours. It doesn't walk. It doesn't run. It glides forward in near silence, weight perfectly distributed, movement controlled. The instant the infrared light intensifies, the sound stops. The creature freezes, listens, then melts back into darkness. Wild animals don't recognize surveillance, and they don't adjust behavior the moment they realize they're being watched, unless they already understand what a camera is. What these recordings leave behind isn't just fear, it's unease. Not because every frame proves something impossible, but because so many of them share the same patterns: restraint instead of panic, observation instead of chaos, intelligence instead of instinct. Whether captured on highways, in forests, at the edge of human homes, or deep in places we rarely go, these figures don't behave like myths or animals. They behave like something aware of us, aware of being seen, and sometimes choosing not to act. The most disturbing thought isn't that something might be out there. It's that it may have always been there, watching quietly, stepping back just before certainty. And if that's true, then the footage isn't meant to scare us. It's meant to remind us how little of the world we truly understand. If these mysteries intrigue you, if they unsettle you, or if you think some questions deserve to stay open, like, comment, and subscribe to Mystery Footage Uncovered. The truth doesn't always hide. Sometimes it waits to be noticed.